Hello, my name is Michael, and I will be presenting my Sparks grant pitch, the Manitou Neighborhood Community Garden. To begin, here we have a Google Maps with a pin for every community garden in Tacoma. As you can see, red points are public gardens, while the other points are private gardens where you must be a resident or a student. I was surprised to see that many of the red points are in the North Tacoma and East Tacoma, but there are none in South Tacoma. So, with this presentation, I propose that we build a community garden at the center of South Tacoma. There are two locations I thought of to where the garden can be built. The first is Manitou Park, which is a massive park located near 66th and Tyler, right next to Manitou Park Elementary. The second location is the South End Recreation Area, also known as Sarah. This is also located just a few blocks from 66th and Tyler. As you can see from the map, Sarah has so much going on with the Star Center, the Boys and Girls Club, and the baseball fields. I feel that a community garden would be a nice addition to this development. Both locations are very close to each other, and they're also close to schools like Manitou Park Elementary, Gray Middle School, and Mount Tahoma High School, all of which are within walking distance. Making a garden requires a lot of work, but making a community garden requires even more work. Luckily, the Pierce Conservation District is ready to help. Their charter template, which is linked in the slide, helps organize the technicalities of making a garden. These things include the vision of the garden, who and how people will become members, and how the garden will be governed to stay sustainable and successful. The vision I have for this garden is to build a stronger community for South Tacoma. Members would mostly be local students and family, but I hope to have this community garden open for all. Governance. This community garden would most likely be a school program or a program through the Boys and Girls Club. Now, here's where you come in, the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation. With your grant, I will be able to purchase some of the most important supplies needed for a garden. The pie chart here helps give a visual on how the money will be divided. Most of the money will be used to build at least 8 garden plots. Each plot will be about 4 feet by 8 feet by 1 foot tall, costing about $90 to $100 each. To fill these plots, I will use fertilizer purchased from the city of Tacoma. Tagro, which is Tacoma-grown fertilizer, can be purchased from them for $10 per cubic yard and is also free at limited quantities. The Sparks grant will also be used to purchase gardening tools, such as shovels and watering pots. Members of the garden will be allowed to use these tools to tend to the garden if they do not have their own. In addition to purchase garden tools, we would also accept donations from the neighborhood. Finally, probably the most important supply needed are the seeds. I plan to use the rest of the Sparks grant to buy a variety of seeds from flowers, vegetables, and fruits for members to choose from when they start their garden. So, doing research on community gardens, I found that there were 2 types. A study in the UK showed that the 2 types were locally managed gardens and districtly managed gardens. Locally managed gardens were ran by community members and proved to have a more diverse, strong, and developed community. This kind of community had many events for the neighborhood to be involved in. District managed gardens are created more for health and environmental reasons. Members are typically unemployed and retired and use the garden as a main source of food. Both gardens are very important in their own ways, and I would like to use parts from both to build a strong community garden for all to use in South Tacoma. Now, after showing the map of all the gardens in Tacoma, I'm sure you may wonder why we would need another one. Well, the first obvious answer is because there are none in South Tacoma, but in addition to that, there are many benefits to having a community garden. These benefits I will talk about over this slide and the next. So, community gardens provide a lot of health benefits such as fresh food access and lots of outdoor physical activity. Studies have also proven that gardening even helps with mental health. The first two, access to fresh foods and physical activity, will also help in combating obesity in the youth. Environmental benefits include improvement of air and soil quality, and if we were also to collect local compost from the neighborhood, it would reduce neighborhood waste. This slide here details the social benefits community gardens bring to their neighborhood. I believe I've stated this a few times already, but community gardens are a strong community builder. Many volunteer opportunities will become available too, and the skills taught from community gardens include communication with others, leadership, and the obvious one is gardening. In conclusion, I will leave you with this quote from Robert Brault: "If you've never experienced the joy of accomplishing more than you can imagine, plant a garden." Through this project, and with your help, I hope to build a strong community garden in South Tacoma so that others can feel the accomplishment too. Thank you.